Hey yo, you already know what it is. It's your boy here. We back. We got some more Fire Emblem heroes. So, if we head over to the Summoning Heroes section, you'll notice that we've gotten two new banners today. We have the two remix banners, one for Mythic Thor and one for Mythic Otter. So we're just going to do our little banner breakdown here and see if either of these banners have anything worthwhile that you should be sniping on. So we'll start with the color breakdown on Thor's banner. So Mythic Thor, of course, not too long ago got her remix, and she seems pretty good. She is also accompanied by Attuned Micaiah, which is like one of the best attuned heroes in the game. This is literally a top 10 unit, so I'd have to say, yeah, green is a pretty goddamn good color share. If you're interested in picking up copies of Thor, I might even be interested in this banner, because I have a +7 Thor. If I get 3 more copies of her, that's it, she's done. So definitely going to help my score out a ton if I'm playing in Astra Season, if I go ahead and do that. Now, as far as fodder goes, though, Thor's fodder could definitely be a lot better. We got attack and defense push 4 and guard bearing 4. I'm not opposed to guard bearing 4, honestly, even though it's actually fallen off from grace with every remix now just having DR piercing or DR nullification. You can't really run skills with pierceable DR anymore, so stuff like guard bearing 4, Gambit 4, and like Spurn 4, and Close Call 4, all of those pierceable DR skills have fallen off a cliff. So you want to go for the non-pierceable DR skills nowadays, like Wyvern Rift and Lagoo's Friend and Reopening and things like that. So a little unfortunate from Thor's fodder, but her herself, really good after the remix, and her remix passive is a really great support, and it also helps her out herself when she's in combat. So can't really complain there. Attuned Micaiah, I don't even want to talk about her. She's ridiculous. You already know what it is. Okay, so then on red, we have Nanna, Legendary Nanna, who has yet to get her remix. She'll be a pretty interesting unit when she does get her remix, because of course, she has one of the rare abilities of being able to turn off enemy specials that have non-pierceable DR. So things like Pavis, things like Godlike Reflexes, Aegis, Sacred Cowl, whatever. Any of those specials that have non-pierceable DR, the ones that don't do damage like Gust and Boulder and stuff like that, those would not be affected by Nanna. But the ones that just do the non-pierceable DR and then they have no other effects besides that, no damaging effects, those would be completely rendered useless against Nanna. So she's going to be pretty interesting when she gets her remix, like I said. She also stops miracle effects, I believe, as well, and her B skill is pretty good. It was really nuts at the time, getting 20% bonus damage based on attack. Like, that was almost like Brave Seliph levels of true damage, where he's getting 25% based on the enemy's defense, like, or 10% based on the enemy's defense for each square that he moves. So it could lead up to like 40%, which is ridiculous. 20% of attack is not so crazy now, but they're definitely going to buff it when she gets remixed. So not the worst unit to maybe have one copy laying around. She's not scoring high enough for Arena anymore. We have literal free-to-play units that score higher than this now. So really, you would just have a copy of her and just hang on to it for the future. And then we have her accompanied by Legendary Sigurd, who's already been remixed, and he's okay. He's not, like, breaking the mold or anything. He's not as ridiculous as some of the recent Sigurds, like Emblem Sigurd, for example. But he's still a Sigurd. He still gives the entire party +1 movement when he procs his specials. So you can, of course, find places where that's going to be very helpful. So I'm not going to say he's bad or anything, but he's not really high enough of a scorer for Arena anymore. He does give blessings, though. These two, even though they may not score the highest anymore, they still are legendary heroes who give blessing bonuses for Arena, so that does matter still. Okay, then on blue, we have the legendary Caeda here, who, I don't know, man. I really am not the biggest fan of this Caeda right now, and the reason why is because she's a Vantage unit. Vantage units are, like, dead. They don't exist anymore. No good Vantage unit exists right now, because you really can't kill the enemies in one hit. Even if you're piercing DR, even if you've got a big damaging special, it's just not going to work. Like, units these days are way too bulky for that to work anymore, so I don't know. What are they going to do with her when she gets remixed? I have no clue. But probably trying to stay away from being a Vantage unit as much as possible is the best thing they could possibly do with her. Her fodder also sucks. Like, Distant Storm, really? We have a Distant Counter Seal that doesn't give you any chip damage, and then it still gives you your Distant Counter. Even though this gives attack of 5, this is definitely better stuff you could give her. Okay, and she is accompanied by Naga, who is one of the most undertuned offensive mythic heroes of all time. Can't really do much with her. She's got Dive Bomb 3 as her upgraded skill. I guess that's a prerequisite for aerial maneuvers, but Naga herself, all she really does is this. Like, her C skill is the only thing worthwhile about her. She can give you effective against dragons, which maybe that can come in handy. Because right now we've gotten some good near save and far save options that are dragons, like Na and Nagi from the Halloween banner. So, I mean, that does help a little bit, I guess. She also gives some stat support, and then she's also giving guaranteed follow-up, which is whatever. So, I don't know. Really, all you would be using her for is to become effective against dragon. She is an offensive mythic hero, though, so getting merges on her helps your score. She doesn't give the special slot, though, so I would recommend definitely focusing more on special slot mythics to get the +10 on, as opposed to the regular old mythic heroes at this point. Okay, we covered her. And then finally, on colorless, we are color sharing Claude, Legendary Claude, and Legendary Leaf. Legendary Leaf got his refine already, and it's not really good enough for right now. It was pretty okay at the time, but like right now, not the craziest. He is still one of the few rare gale forcing range units, though, so that can come in handy in certain places. And then also Legendary Claude got his remix. He's pretty good, actually. I do like this guy. He gets 25 points of true damage when he's attacking. He gets an absurd amount of DR, and he also has... What else does he have? I think he has true DR as well. Yeah, reduce damage from foe's first attack by X times 3. X is the number of bonus effects active on him and the number of penalty effects active on the foe. So you could possibly get 15 points non-pierceable DR there, on top of Deep Star as well. So, yeah, he's pretty solid. He also still does his shenanigans as well, like he inflicts gravity on people and things like that. Also, his fodder is pretty good. Guidance 4, even though we have Soaring Guidance right now, which is... or Soaring Echo, I meant to say. Even though we have that right now, that's still, like... that only applies to units that don't have preference skills equipped. So Guidance 4 or Soaring Guidance are still very good skills. And Legendary Leaf's Father, not so good. So on this banner, I would say, honestly, like, everything is, like, ranging on okay to mid. And then you have Thor and Micaiah on green, which are just, like, okay, I mean, these are really good units. So if you're summoning here, you definitely want to go for green. Let's take a look at Otur's banner now. Let's see what Otur has got. Okay, so Otur is color sharing with Attuned Azura. Wow. Yeah, they really favor the color shares with the remixed hero, don't they? This isn't the first time they've done this, where, like, the remixed hero and their color share is just damn near better than everything else on the banner. So Otur's refine, of course, I'm not the biggest fan of his refine. I think Thor's was actually better, but he does have a way better fodder skill. He's got attack and defense Excel now, which Excel skills are damn near as good as it gets for your offensive calves. So a pretty good fodder skill at the very least. He's a defensive mythic hero, though. That has way less value than offensive mythic heroes. So I would be hesitant about going for merges on him. And then, of course, Attuned Azura, one of the best dancers in the game, and has one of the most omnipotent Echo skills in the game as well. Mercy Wing Echo can apply to just about every unit you want to give it to. So pretty good stuff there. Okay, then on red, we've got... Okay, Mythic Lift. For a second, I was like, is this Arcane Lift or is this Mythic Lift? No, this is Mythic Lift right here. He is not very good. He was cool when he got his refine, but not right now. And then we have Legendary Ryoma. This guy is dead in the water, man. R.I.P. Yeah, he is not doing anything. Okay, then on blue, we've got Seiros, who is okay. She can be surprisingly hard to get rid of after her remix. She can actually tank Brave Felix, depending on how many spaces he moves. So, I mean, maybe you can find that to be a handful effect. Also, you can just give her high Dragon Wall so she can basically just function as a makeshift gatekeeper while also giving special slot defense bonuses. So she could be okay. She also has attack and res scowl fodder, which is pretty good. So I'm not going to say anything bad about Seiros. Fiorm, on the other hand, has seen better days. Yeah, this Fiorm is really not that good right now, and certainly not after we've gotten the Farsave God Ice Tribe Fiorm that is invincible to ranged attacks. So yeah, blue, Seiros is okay, Fiorm not so much. And then finally on colorless, we've got Ashera, who is pretty good with her Refine. And then we have Legendary Corin, who is also actually not too bad with her Refine. I think Rocket Gal did a video showcasing Ninja Lucina not too long ago, and one of the rare matchups Ninja Lucina actually lost to was against this Corin. Now, that's mainly because negating Fang is going to give her non-pierceable DR, and then she's going to do a lot of reflect damage when she hits. This is the same in the matchup with Ninja Lucina as well as Ice Tribe Fiorm, where if you're just like trying to tank the hit from Ice Mirror, you're not going to survive. So in order to have Ninja Lucina win those matchups, you got to give her Miracle. So just keep that in mind. But I thought it was pretty funny that this Corin was actually able to beat the latest ninja hero. Her fodder is not very good. Like just regular distant counter, guard 4, not even reopening. Joint drive attack, we haven't used those in ages. So that's kind of unfortunate. But I do think if you build her up correctly, give her like Lagoo's Friend, distant bonus doubler, and maybe Breath of Life 4 or Insighted or some crazy C skill, I think this unit can actually be pretty good still. And Ashera, of course, another special slot mythic hero, offensive mythic hero as well, so just really good. And then also she gives a lot of support. So you can always find uses for this Ashera, no matter how much further into the future we get, just off the merit of being a support offensive mythic hero with a lot of damage potential as well. She can do quite a good amount of damage. So that's pretty much everything for these two banners. Let's go ahead and do our freebies and see what we get. I would have to say on both banners you want to go for green. And now here we got the worst case scenario. We can't even go for green. So I guess what do we go for then? Wow, this is really sucky. I guess we'll go for colorless. Maybe I get a copy of Guidance 4. Okay, that is not... Actually, that might even be better because Pantreo has a really nice fodder skill. What does he have again? Def Res Finish? Yeah, that's not too bad for a demote. So we'll definitely take that. All right, now let's go over here and let's hopefully be able to pull green. Okay, yes, we are. All right, can we get Azura here? I don't even have Azura, so that would be great. Okay, that's not Azura. Yeah, but that's how you expect those freebies to go. So that's going to wrap us up for this video, guys. Like I said, to reiterate, both of them are good color shares with the remixed heroes. So if you want to hit green, they're okay. But otherwise, these banners just seem to be a skip for the most part. So that's all for now, and I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.